The secret of joy in work is contained in one word: excellence. To know how to do something well is to enjoy it, pearl as buck. As a president of GHA, I take this opportunity to welcome you to today's momentous event, honoring the exceptional leaders who have guided educational institutions with wisdom, dedication, and unwavering commitment to academics. She has been instrumental in implementing and believe that hard work as a necessary component leading towards the path of excellence. Madam, grace today's function. The GHA strives to perform and provide a platform for heads of institutions to collaborate and share their best practices with a common purpose of uplifting will live on to your accomplishments as mentors and role models. As we honor your services, I am reminded of an extract from the Bible which reads, "The Master said, 'Well done,' 3:24. All of us have strived hard and tried to do our best while mentoring and taking care of all that has happened in school and outside. I appreciate the team spirit of the Executive Committee and the Governing Council in making each and every meeting, every moment, togetherness, and this event and our conference a success. Some of the concerns as a president of education at several times, and the main concern which all of you also has, with the pattern of assistance and the working condition for the drivers and the conductors after their salaries were enhanced. To enhance the salaries of the security guard and the like.
Dedicated her life to serving others and making a difference by her exemplary work in the field of education. I call upon Mr. Madhav Karbi, the immediate past president of the GHA, to introduce our esteemed chief guest of today's function.
Good morning, everybody. Guests on the dais, off the dais, my dear friends, I am pleased to introduce today's guest, the national awardee, youngest national awardee from Goa for the year 2020. She had been headmistress in Malkarni High School, which is well known for us. I used to read on newspaper the activities from Malkarni High School. I wanted to visit her school, but luckily we organized JHA conference in the year 2019, and she was the only headmistress to present her work, only government headmistress to present her work in our conference. So I am really elated to introduce her. She is really young and dynamic. Her academic career as well as achievement should be appreciated. She was gold medalist in chemistry at university level for post-graduation. She was selected by the GPSC and became a grade 1 teacher. And after that, she got a promotion as headmistress. The GPSC recommended her name for assistant director post. Now she is enjoying deputy director post for academics in our department. So we expect lot many things from her as a GHA. I feel it is my wish that in the department there should be single window process. Once we apply for NOC, the department should look after the NOC, appointment order, pay fixation, everything. Otherwise, it is, tedious activity to pacify all the people in the department, all the departments in the education sector. So it is my earnest request to Madam. She can do it, being young and dynamic. Many times I explained this proposal to the directors. Some they could not understand. What is that single window, they were asking me. It is really a headache for the headmasters. So being young, dynamic and an active director of our education department, we expect this thing from Madam. Her achievements are many. Only one thing I express, she presented her work in our GHA conference. She plays very important role. Her school had been awarded as the best school twice. 3 students of Malkarni school awarded by the government of Goa. She has been felicitated by the President as well as the Governor, Sri Sridharan Pillai, as well as Honorable ex-Governor Mridula Sinha. Many institutions like Rotary, renowned institutions, felicitated her. So we are proud to have a Deputy Director like Mrs. Sindhu Prabhudesai Naik. So I feel proud to introduce her. Give a big hand to her. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Karvi, for doing the honors of introducing our chief guest. We feel honored and grateful to you, dear Madam, for accepting our humble invitation and gracing our felicitation program in spite of your busy schedule. Flowers symbolize joy, love, and thankfulness. May I now request Sister Liberata Fernandez, the President of the GHA, to present a floral on the beauty of its public building, but it consists in the number of its men of education, enlightenment, and character. My beloved heads of institutions, especially the ones who will be felicitated, have been men and women who held the mission of education, of imparting men of enlightenment, education, and character. I now request the President of the GHA, Sister Liberata Fernandez, Sir Madhav Karvi, our immediate past President, Mr. Deepak Naik, to escort our esteemed Chief Guest, Ms. Sindhu Prabhudesai Naik, for the felicitation ceremony.
Thank you, Ishwaranda. I am privileged and honored to introduce a few of our felicities present here today. So without any further delay, a very dynamic personality, worked as a resource person for Sarva Siksha Abhiyan, as an examiner, scrutinizer, moderator, paper setter, in Marathi and SSC examination, rendered his invaluable service as the GHA representative of Marnugua Taluka, has been awarded by the Lions Club of Vasco for selfless service in the field of education, and by the Rotarians with the Nation Builders Award. He has 28 years of service as a teacher and 8 years as the headmaster, appointed in the year 1988. Presenting before you Mr. Tulsidas P. Desai, Headmaster of Marmagua High School, Vasco da Gama. Thank you, Mr. Tulsidas Desai, for your countless service to the GHA and to the education community. We have yet another enthusiastic personality, Mr. Maria Jesus Filastro Evaristo Costa Cardozo, a teacher of history, geography, maths, English and environmental studies. Instrumental in training and motivating teachers and students to excel in getting awards at the Taluka, district, state and national level. Was a moral booster for students and teachers to also participate in competitions at all levels. Conducted various competitions at the school level to bring forth hidden potential in students. Has worked as a headmaster of Miracles High School, Sangay for 37 years. Awarded and felicitated by the Diocesan Society of Education, Xaverian Society of Education, national, state, educational and cultural contributions towards the holistic development primarily of students and teachers. Presenting before you Mr. Maria Jesus Filastro Evaristo Costa Cardozo. Having served as a headmaster for 2 years at Tagore Educational Institute, Surla, and having 35 years of service as a teacher, teaching mathematics and science, worked as an examiner, moderator, chief moderator, and paper setter. Member of the Academic Council of the Goa Board. Presenting before you Mr. Janardan G. Sawant, of Tagore Educational Institute, Surla. Thank you, sir, for your contributions. We now have an energetic personality, Mrs. Shobha Sanjay Priolkar. Mrs. Shobha Sanjay Priolkar. Not yet come. We move on to Mr. Benny Sebastian. Mr. Benny Sebastian. Brother Benny Sebastian has worked as a teacher for 30 years and served as a headmaster for 2 years at Shri Kamakshi High School, Shiroda, Honda. Having taught mathematics, he has worked as an examiner, moderator, paper setter, deputy conductor for the Goa Board, paper setter for Staff Selection Commission of Goa. Presenting before you Mr. Benny Sebastian of Shri Kamakshi High School, Shiroda, Honda. Can we have a loud round of applause? Thank you, sir, for your contribution in the field of education. Mrs. Akshalata Abhay Michel, a well-known headmistress, having contributed as a member of the GHA, appointed in the year 1986, having 37 years of experience as a teacher and served as a headmistress for 1 year at SES's Sarvodaya High School, Usgaon, Goa, a teacher of Marathi, associated as a DC with Ponda District Scouts and Guides, has handed over the responsibility of moderator and chief moderator for third language Marathi at the Goa Board. During her tenure as a headmistress at Sarvodaya High School, she could achieve 100% in the Ponda district. Prudent scholars felicitated her as a headmaster through the Headmasters Association. Achieved a Nation Builder Award in 2021 by the Rotary Club of Ponda. Lions Club of Ponda Midtown has also acknowledged her service towards education. The PTA felicitated her as securing 100% results in the SSC examination 2022-23. Presenting before you Mrs. Akshalata Abhay Michel of SES's Sarvodaya High School, Usgaon, Goa. Can we have a loud round of applause? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Everyone can put to good use his or her own little bits of time, talent, influence, ambition, energy, and weave them into lives of beauty and goodness and rare value. Author unknown. I now request Sister Antonetta Pereira, the Joint Treasurer of the GHA, to kindly announce and acknowledge the efforts of our next few felicities on list.
A man who wears many hats, Mr. Nazareth Fernandez has been a teacher of Konkani and mathematics for the last 22 years, 7 of which he has served as the headmaster at Peter Alvarez Memorial High School, Mochi. Since being appointed in 1995, he has taken on many roles, including that of examiner, scrutinizer, moderator, and observer for the SSC board examinations. Speaking as a true leader, he is of the opinion that the heads of the institutions should work for the betterment of the school and society. Thank you, Mr. Nazareth, for your services. A subject that students most despise is undoubtedly history. However, powering through this huge challenge is Mrs. Deepa Dilip Holkar of Shishu Vikas High School, Nareli. An educator for the last 30 years and a headmistress for 3 of them, she believes that education helps to develop human resources of a nation. Presenting to you Mrs. Deepa Dilip Holkar. Thank you, ma'am, for your services. A teacher serves primarily as a guide and guiding young minds in the field of science, especially projects and seminars, was for Mr. Vivek Pinse. I'm sure no mean feat, serving in Srimati Indirabai Vibat Dalgikar High School for the last 36 years since his appointment in 1987. Mr. Mr. Vivek Pilse has been the headmaster for 2 of those years. He is a true believer in the fact that knowledge should be used for the betterment of society. Thank you, Mr. Pilse. Mr. Gopal Mukund Naik of New Era High School, Margaon, has served in the field of education for 34 years. Appointed in 1985, he has risen to the rank in various competitions such as Ramayana and Mahabharata. Thank you, Mr. Gopal Naik. Through which thoughts run and out of which they grow. Endeavoring to nurture and cultivate a love for language has been the forte of Mrs. Cassie Flavia D'Souza for the last 34 years. Serving at Infant Jesus High School, Colwao, Mrs. D'Souza served as a headmistress for 9 whole years. Smitten with history and English, she lives by the motto, "Work is worship." Thank you, Mrs. Cassie D'Souza.
Thank you, dear Sister Antonetta. The real strength of a person is his or her enthusiasm. No strength is greater than enthusiasm. With enthusiasm, nothing is impossible. I now request Ms. Yvette Antau, the Taluka representative of Salsit, to do the honors of announcing the names and appreciating the contribution of our remaining felicities.
Thank you, Aswanda. I call upon Srimati Reshma Nandan Virodkar from Progress High School, Panjim, who has completed 37 years as a teacher and 7 years as a headmistress, teaching Marathi and Hindi. Her words, students are to be educated based on their interest in particular field, and parents should not force them to choose any specific line of studies. There are many new courses introduced in the field of education, so that parents should see the interest of their children and give them the proper education. Parents should also take care of their child's mental health by being friendly to them and provide hygienic food to them. Thank you, ma'am, for your dedicated service. Mrs. Medha Desai, I think she's not here. By example, inspiring others with your unwavering commitment to education and lifelong learning. May you discover immense fulfillment and joy in the vital responsibilities you carry each day, knowing that your efforts positively shape the lives of countless individuals. As you persevere in your roles as heads, may you find strength in the knowledge that your dedication makes a profound difference in the lives of many. Thank you, Ma'am Carmen, for your lovely words, and wish you a happy birthday. Ma'am Maria Edelquin Martins Ifutado is not here, so we move on to Sister Dr. Trasila Pinto, St. Sebastian High School, Lolye, Kanakona, who has worked for 41 years and taught English, history and geography. Her awards are first rank at B.Ed with gold medal, 9th rank at MA in history, a PhD in education from the Mysore University, elected AINACS Delhi executive member for 2 terms, Executive Member of GHA, South Goa Association, TLC, AB, and Observer at the High Secondary and SSC Board exams. She leaves us with a quote, learn today, lead tomorrow, transform lives, live and let live. Thank you, Dr. Sister Tisila Pinto. We have another entry, Mrs. Chitra Sawant from Don Leonor Memorial High School, Alto Beti, Mardes, Goa. Appointed in 1983, retired last year in July 2023. She has been the assistant conductor at the SSC board exams, a paper setter and a scrutinizer for the Goa board. A round of applause for Ma'am Chitra Sawant. Ma'am, we thank you for your immense contribution to the lives of children and teachers, and we wish you a happy life ahead. Thank you.
Let us once again give a loud round of applause to all our felicities. And now let us raise our right hand and say together, thank you. All repeat, thank you. God bless you. My dear friends, our felicities have a lot of experiences to share. We cannot permit all of them to express their heartfelt sentiments due to time constraint, for which we apologize. Hence, on behalf of our felicities, two representatives would like to express their feelings. I request Madam Carmen Da Cruz, our felicity from St. Elizabeth High School, to do the honors.
I have just been told about speaking, so I'm very great that we have served us not only in our schools, the community, and the students in Goa. I would also like to thank all the other heads who are present over here. My message to you is lead by example. Whatever you want your teachers to do it first. Be committed, be dedicated, and always have a good rapport with your teachers, because you can gain a lot when you have that good rapport. Whatever differences you have as heads, I think we need to keep it to ourselves. Forgive, forget, and move on. If you really want your institution to shine, be alert, be sensitive to what's happening around, and don't let little minute things upset your ego, because very often it's our ego that plays. It's important that you give of your best every day. Surrender your school into the hands of the Lord. That's what I do. I go for Mass. I surrender the school, whatever that is, to the Lord. And I think all these years, if I've managed what I've done, even very difficult moments, it's because of His presence in our lives. I would like also to suggest to the GHA, I know you're working very hard, but it is difficult, because I've been through that when we don't get the post filled, it's difficult to carry on. I worked without a peon, without a clerk, without a teacher. And as a head, I've done all these jobs when the situation arose. And when you do things, everyone follows because I had the whole staff, students, everyone working along. When there's no pune in the school, what to do? But it is difficult, and what I've been through, I wouldn't want the others to go through too. So maybe this June, I pray that all of you will be granted your post so that you can run your school well and make a difference in the lives of others. So once again, on behalf of all the retired teachers here, I thank you, all the office bearers and all those present here for
Desai, the retired headmaster, who was also the Taluka representative from Murgaon High School, Vasco da Gama, to express a few words.
Good morning once again. Chief guest of today's function, Deputy Director Sindhu Desai, GHG President, Sister Liberata, Immediate Past President Madhav Khadeji, Secretary, other dignitaries on the days, all the felicities, Headmasters. It's a pleasant morning today, and in fact we are on the top. So that's the mantra that everyone has to follow. And being leaders, that's the main thing every leader needs to do. I always also tell my students to follow one principle of sharing and caring. So that makes life very easier, and you become a very successful person in life. That's what I have learned all these years. We all know, running a school as the head of the school, we have to, as our earlier speaker mentioned, we have to do all types of work, and leading by example, the things do happen. Everyone alongside you becomes, I would say, a part and parcel of that particular work. And one more thing I would always like to say, that is, whenever you are doing something good, the whole universe is behind you. Everybody gives us the support to achieve whatever we desire for. I thank the GHA, of which I was also an executive member for the last term, and being closely watching the work of the executive committee. So they are also doing a wonderful job, but there are so many other issues which need to be taken care of at the departmental level. Since the Deputy Director is also with us here, it's another earnest request, I would say, from all the heads, that whatever concerns are there, those concerns are being taken care of in the near future, so that administration work is being carried out by all the heads smoothly, and delivering the education for our children become very nice. That's all I would like to say. Thank you very much. Have a nice day to all of you, and God bless you.
Thank you, dear sir. H.G. Wells rightly points out, and I quote, "We should strive to welcome change and challenges because they are what helps us to grow. Without them, we grow weak like the alloy in comfort and security. We need to be constantly challenging ourselves in order to strengthen our character and increase our intelligence." Unquote. The LEP challenges us to be
across the state. Attending felicitation, or valedictory functions like this involves mixed emotion. It is a very sad moment because the system is going to lose the resourceful heads, the school leaders. So there's going to be this lacuna, void, which is irreplaceable. Of course, your senior teachers will take your position now, but whatever contribution you have given is unmatched. At the same time, it is a very delightful. So after 30th April, the retired or the retiring headmasters will have, they will have to no more chase the circulars, skills that have brought me till here. And whatever circulars are issued, most of the circulars we receive from the Central Ministry of Education. There are other ministries that are involved. The other day I was attending a conference addressing the doctors across the state. What about telemanas? No, I won't go there for, I want to meet the doctors. Yes, telemanas is something to do with, it's a website actually launched by Ministry of Education. We have issued a circular regarding the same to deal with mental health of the child. Now you will say, what is that relationship between, the academic is more important, not the mental health. I totally disagree with you. The problems that are associated with children are so vast and so deep these days. Only if you address these problems, then only we can achieve that holistic development. Yes, I can understand that there are too many circulars or too much of workload, but we are living in a digital era. I will tell you what is the coping mechanism that you can adopt. It is not difficult. It is very less, in fact, if I compare to the states like Uttar Pradesh or Gujarat. So, no more circulars from 30th April. No more burning hours to compile the ABCD information. No more framing the school timetable or the academic calendar. No more, watching the WhatsApp messages after every half an hour and refreshing our emails. Anything has come in the ADI group or the DOE group, any circular order. And no stressful, no burden to think about, my LDC, one LDC is going on maternity leave in April, and DOE has given the second LDC on contract basis till the end of academic year. So I will have no dealing hand during the month of May, which is very, very crucial when it comes to issuing leaving certificate, taking new admissions, etc. I can relate to all this, my dear friends, because a year back, exactly a year back, I was also a school headmaster like you all. When I joined as a school headmistress, I was one of the youngest headmistresses at that time. Within 2-3 months, my single LDC, lone LDC, he got direct appointment, he cleared an examination, he became accountant of Directorate of Accounts. I didn't have LDC or the clerk for the next 2 years. I kept going to the department the way you all come now, but I was blessed not to have LDC for 2 long years. After a year or 1.5 years, my lone MTS retired, and I was blessed not to have MTS for the next 6 months. The reason I'm sharing you all these things is because I'm thankful to the situation, I'm thankful to the circumstances that came in my way. We could adopt to the strategies, the coping mechanism, what I mentioned. We could discover new paths. We have to seek admission, we have to open the schools, the curriculum, the academic calendar, whatever activities are supposed to be conducted. In the process, I learned so many new things which I was not aware of. I used to prepare salary bills of my entire staff. Right from, I think the income tax filing is the most difficult part. I learned that. And then every smaller, right from using the Xerox machine till, wiping my own table. I still have that habit. Even if they have done it, I go and wipe my own table before I sit on my chair. So everything we have done it as the headmaster, and of course you also will be doing the same when the time comes. So we need to develop these strategies. I really appreciate what Madam said. We need to build that inclusive culture in your school. You yourself, you are school teachers, your promotion system is there, hardly 1 or 2 headmasters here and there will be direct recruitment. So you have to build that supervised ownership, that trust in your staff members. This Tushidas sir spoke that we have to do the things first before we preach. So your teachers imitate you, your non-teaching staff imitates you. So it is not very difficult to manage the school system with limited resources. Of course, we are trying our best, and hopefully, whatever problems you have quoted, we'll be able to deal with that. Whenever I interact with teachers, headmasters or school leaders, I always tell them a lot of stories. Because according to the famous psychologist, I am a die-hard fan of the greatest entrepreneur of our country, Mukesh Ambani, who revolutionized the G culture, the 4G and the 5G culture in our country. The greatest entrepreneur who brought the revolution, the internet revolution in our country. So once he was addressing a conference, the student conference like this, and he mentioned, though we are the ones who brought 4G and 3G in our country, the greatest G's that are very, very important in our lives are Mataji, Pitaji and Guruji. Of course, we cannot compare what our parents have done to us, or it is all because of them that we are here. And of course the teachers' place is very, very supreme. We are sometimes, God could not be everywhere, so He created mothers, and mothers could not be everywhere, so He created wonderful teachers. So kudos to Goa Headmasters Association for recognizing the efforts of teachers and school leaders and for felicitating them. It was a kind gesture, and I acknowledge their efforts. I'm also a die-hard fan of Sudha Murthy, the Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan awardee. She was the one who was rejected or not accepted because of her sari look at UK's Heathrow Airport, and today she is the mother-in-law of the Prime Minister of UK. So she wrote this beautiful article, and one day she gets a call from the ex-president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The PA must have called, and she said, no, it's not for me, it must be for my husband, who's the chairperson of Infosys. It is not for me. Why would the president call me? So the call was for her, and she attends the call, and President Abdul Kalam had called her to acknowledge, to congratulate her about one of the articles that she had written about the teachers that particular day. The name of the article, I have read that article, it is available online, you can also go through the article. She writes very beautiful books in colloquial English. I have read around 28 books of hers, over 30 books she has written. So it was, the name of the article was IT Culture. And the article that she wrote was a real experience that she encountered some days before. She had gone to the market to buy some fruits, and there she saw mangoes. Those days mangoes must be very cheap. So she says the price that was quoted to her was around 100 rupees. So he said this is 100 rupees dozen. Now it's 1,000 or more. So she gets a call, or she starts interacting with someone, and another IT girl comes there hurriedly, she's on the way to go to her office, and it happens to be her student who's also working in a company. Infosys was the company that she was leading. At that time she was a teacher, professor at the university. So the IT girl asked about the rate to the fruit seller, and the fruit seller says it is 200 rupees dozen. So she was in a hurry, so she immediately pays this 200 rupees and she takes those mangoes and goes away. Now Sudha Murthy asked the fruit seller, you said 100 rupees to me, and to that girl you said 200 rupees. Madam, you are a school teacher, you are a teacher, you will not understand that. She is an IT person. Even if I had quoted 500, she would have given. So this is the profit I am making. So this is how she felt that teacher community was degraded. At times, yes, my personal experience also, we are degraded at times, but she says that this is not correct. According to Sudhamurti, the highest position after God and the parents, and we all believe that is of the parents. So hats off to all the retired HMs who are being felicitated here. Teaching is a very noble profession. This is a place which is very serene and devised. I personally like this place very much. I have attended the first state conference that had happened here, and I still remember I was the only government headmaster to talk about my innovative practices, and that is the time I met some of the headmasters who are still in touch with me. That is the time when I actually met your president of GHA, Sister Libretta. I forgot her name after the conference. That is the time I met Father Basil. That is the time I met Sir Benjamin and Sir Vilasapakar I knew before. That is the time I met Sir Tushidas and all others. I forgot their names, but till date, I can exactly tell you what were the innovative practices they had quoted in 2019, 2019. Yes. Sister Libretta's name I had forgotten, so after I became the assistant director, I met her once in the department and she said, I'm Sister Libretta. So I know many of you, what innovation, I know many of you by your school. I said, oh, she's the Headmistress of Infant Jesus. I know about your school, I may not know your name, now I know your name. So this is what we are known by our work, we are known by our achievements. One more time, I attended one of the programs, if I'm not mistaken, it was on examination stress. That time IAS Madam Vandana was our director, and this hall was jam-packed. There was no place to sit. You know the reason, right? Yes. And that is the time I realized, oh my God, there are so many headmasters in the state. 30% of the heads I had seen that day, which I had not seen earlier. I had just completed 3 years as school head that time. And I never missed it. I have never missed any conference, any workshop, any meeting. So if I have not seen that headmaster means the other person would have missed. So 30% of the heads I saw that day for the first time. The reason I'm quoting all this is, I've seen many of you now, since I've got this platform to interact with the other headmasters also, I have not seen many of you in the department. You all always send your dealing hands or your MTS or any other teachers maybe, which is a good thing, they are supposed to go. But my experience and my suggestion would be, sometimes at least, do visit the department, do visit the zonal office, do visit the ATI office, knowingly and unknowingly, with good faith or whatever, or by mistake, your dealing hands also can put you in trouble. So many people complain, Madam, I had sent this in July, still I have not got that. So I tell them, sir, in between 3 correspondents have gone to your school stating that you have not submitted this, you have not submitted that. Now, you know, I have taken already approval of our director, whatever documents are needed for at least the basic things, obtaining NOC, SMC approval, obtaining approval of teaching staff, selection scale, these main things, the documents needed, I will put in the section, I will stick it somewhere in the wall, so that, you know, my work is reduced by 10% and your work is reduced by at least 80%. So let us build that inclusive culture. Do not rely, whatever, sometimes they come and interact with our dealing hand must be telling them something. Then the response that you get is a diluted one, may not be the exact one what is being told by the dealing hand, whatever, the other officers. The same applies for the other sections also. So make sure that you interact, you ask, and of course when you are coming to meet, please make sure that you come in the evening session after the school hours, so that, you know, we also have time for you, and you also dedicate your morning hours in the school. I know many of the headmasters frequently visit the directorate, frequently visit the zonal offices. Others who are not doing it, not frequently, I know you all are very busy, but of you all are absent today also. So this is a very nice platform where you can exchange your ideas. I always congratulate, and even my officers from the section, I always congratulate Goa Headmasters Association. They have been doing wonderful things. You all have put forth, you all have come up with so many ideas. Sometimes we also seek your suggestions from Vilas sir, from Deshpande sir, from Kharbi sir, Sister Libretta. Sometimes we also need your guidance. Sometimes we also, so it is in collaboration with Goa Headmasters Association, Principal Forum, and other organizations that we have to work together. Another thing, okay, there is no harm, and why I called you at 3 o'clock is, till 2 o'clock you must be finishing your school. So after that you go home, have your lunch and then come. From Malkarne I used to reach home by 3:30 at home, and by the time I would come to the department it used to be like 5:30. And the cabin in which I sit now, I have stood outside that cabin for hours, one complete hour to meet our present director who was deputy director then. He is the mentor and the greatest motivator. So we have done that all, and that is the reason we could learn the administrative affairs that we are able to handle today. So congratulations once again to everyone who are present here, and my greatest gratitude to Goa Headmasters Association for these beautiful moments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam. Dear Madam, I can truly say, when God whispered in your heart the pearls of wisdom and knowledge to impart, you spared no effort, wasted no time, to light our candles with the wisdom sublime. Unique were you with your unique style, shedding light of every kind to enlighten our thirsty mind. Indeed, we are touched by your message, dear Madam, which will be treasured by all of us. Thank you once again for your words of wisdom. I request Sister Libretta Fernandez, the GHA President, to present a memento as a token of our love and gratitude to our Chief Guest, Srimati Sindhu Prabodesai Naik, the Assistant Director of Education, Academic Section. Thank you, Sister. We shall now release the planner at the hands of our Assistant Director. Thank you, Madam. We have received many riches from those who have touched our lives. It is our duty and our obligation to thank and acknowledge their contribution for the smooth conduct of this felicitation program. I request Madam Mabel Da Costa, the Secretary of the GHA, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Esmeralda. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Good morning to everyone. In fact, I proudly stand here to express gratitude on behalf of you gave and rendered to the educational institutions. Thank you for making your valuable presence here today. Appreciation to our chief guest, Srimati Sindhu R. Prabodesai, Assistant Director of Education Academics. Thank you, Madam, for your valuable presence despite your busy schedule in attending our today's GHA felicitation program. Madam, your presence made a difference today. A special gratitude and thanks to the press, Goa 365 and the Goan Reporter. We are very much grateful to all the executive and the governing council members of the JJ for their continuous help in organizing today's function. Special thanks and appreciation to our dynamic JJ President, Sister Liberata Fernandez, for her constant support and guidance. Thank you, Sister. Thanks to the compere of today, Mrs. Esmeralda. Thanks to Sister Flory for her prayer service. Thanks to our office staff, Mr. Sachin. Last but not the least,